Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone that is on Facebook. I got a few things that I want to talk about, want to deal with um, at this time. Um, want to remind us of some things, and I also want to encourage you in the stuff that is coming. I know that you might see my title, which is the crap that is coming, and I'm gonna let you know what all that crap is that is coming. And and my description is, and as you may see it, will you be fearful or will you be faithful? We have to understand. We would have to make up our mind on these things and realize who we are serving and realize who our Father is. Of course, you know, I hear so much of talk and people teaching about all the stuff that has been happening and about the drones and now the dense fog that is seem like it's around the world. And of course, we know that this is not a supernatural event, but it's only the wicked back at it again. And I want to say this up front. You know, I know that they don't want us to know um, certain things and what they're doing. They just want to plant their programming in our minds so that we can display it. We can be all over the internet, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, talking about it, and that's how they get their poison around. Excuse me. But it's only going to cause a lot of fear, and this is also a testing. We might would say, why would Yahuwah allow certain things to happen? Uh, um, why would he allow the wicked to do certain things? Because you also need to understand that this is a test of our faith. We're not just going to just come on a line or say to someone or even say to ourselves, oh, I trust the Most High, I trust Yahuwah and all this kind of stuff, and not expect to be tested because he knows where our true faith lies. He knows whether we have faith and believing in him or not, and he knows where our allegiance lies concerning him or concerning this world. And your allegiance could really be with this world without your brain even knowing it. Now your head might be telling you that my allegiance is with Yahuwah and I believe every word he says, you know, but that's not the same thing that my heart or my ruach might be saying. And we have to come into understanding to know um, who's saying what and who means what concerning our mouth and in our heart. You know, let me tell y'all this. Let me tell y'all this, Facebook people. Let me say this here to you. You know, we can continue to teach about Yahuwah, which we're supposed to do. We can continue to say He's the Most High and to lift Him up, which we are supposed to do. But there comes a time when our money might need to be put where our mouth is, so to speak. And these times are coming. Now, I want to say a few things to you and encourage you in a few things, even about what the wicked is doing now. And I know that they want to censor us and shut us up and all this kind of stuff. But I want to make this here known. You know, censoring me or preventing me from saying such things on Facebook or on YouTube, it doesn't determine, where I will spend eternity. And anytime you are being censored, I want us to know this too. Anytime we are being censored or taken down, or even that we have shadow banning, because I've noticed a lot of that on Facebook on my video. There's no way possible that if you have and give you an instance what I'm talking about. If you have 500 views, because views are supposed to go up as the video is just passed and people running up on it here, so views are supposed to go up. But if you had, and I'm just giving you an example, 500 views, and them 500 views have just been there for a week, 2 weeks or so, and hadn't got any higher, I want you to know that is impossible concerning the earth consisting of almost 9 billion people. That's impossible. So they are shadow banning it, and you're saying the things that they don't want you to say. But at the same time, those are the things that Yahuwah wants us to say, but the wicked don't want us to say it. And but anyway, I want to talk to you a little bit about what they're doing now, concerning the dense fog and stuff that they're bringing about. And of course, this ain't nothing but poison and even getting you ready for the next pandemic that is about to appear. But like I said, it's time to put our money where our mouth is. Now, because we could say a lot of stuff and we could push our chest out, be brave, as long as nothing is happening. As long as nothing is happening. But it's time for us to be real soldiers, good soldiers of Yahushua, and to march upright and to stand even in the face of adversity. If we really love him like we say, if we really believe him like we say, it's time to do these things right now. It's time to do these things right now. Now, before I go in any further, I'm going to share something with you, because as I say all the time, our faith must be tested. And if you don't think that your faith is going to be tested, then that's an automatic failure on your part in the first place. That's an automatic failure, and you're not where you need to be. Let me say this here too, before I really just go into this right here, because I know I place some facts out there, some videos, some hard videos, and maybe the Gentile kind of like take that a little hard and stuff. But I got to present the facts, and I'm gonna tell you this: I actually have a soft spot, a soft place in my heart for the nations. And when we say Edomites and Edom, we have to come into the understanding that Edom don't only consist of white people. Edom consists of some black folk too. Africa is full of them. It's consistent of black people too. Like I said, Africa is full of them, and they all around too. So it don't only consist of no white people. But when I want you to know that I actually have a soft spot in my heart, and that soft spot is not gonna dictate to me to not present the facts to you, like I said in my last video. And I'm gonna tell you why I have a soft spot in my heart. And y'all need to come into a place of understanding me and accepting or receiving what I'm saying. If you don't receive it at first, don't throw it away. Just considering what I'm saying, and you go and you do the researches yourself, because there are certain scriptures that is not expounded upon. And because we're just in this, many of us, not all of us, many of us are just in this little baby stage of teaching. The people are not going to be prepared for what the wicked is doing in this earth and what they are about to do even now. But just hear me what I'm saying. I actually have a soft spot in my heart for the nations and for white people too, because you're not gonna say that I hate or I'm racist to shut me up, because you're never gonna shut me up. But the reason I have a soft spot in my heart, because our Father do. Our Father have a soft spot in his heart, and that's the reason he has opened the door to the other nations in spite of what they have done to Yasharel, if they repent. Now, like I said, it's not too late for those that is under the sound of my voice to repent, but it's too late for your ancestors and things if they engage in these atrocities that have been committed against Yasharel. But it's not too late for you. So don't take what I'm saying to say that I'm hating white people and all this kind of stuff. No, 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 no. Our Father have a soft spot in his heart. So therefore, I have a soft spot in my heart. But I'm going to tell you the truth. And most people don't understand that when you're talking the truth, most people are not. It's a his truth, and there is a our truth. And most people just love our truths and not love or want to engage or even hear about his truth. So I hope you understand and follow me on that. But there's a lot of crap fixing to come up on this world. And if we're just hollering about his name and not rooted and grounded in him, then we're going to faint and we're going to become all mummified when this stuff comes. Or you hear me what I'm saying? Do you know what I mean when I say become all mummified? Mummified. But I want to tell you this true story. That first thing that came out, and here is the y'all honest truth. I heard y'all some years ago when I first, and he told me what to do in terms of opening. Um, it was church then, but of course it's assembly now. I heard that real clear in my ruach. I heard it. And when this pandemic began to be commenced, you know, and even though everyone was saying you got to close this unless it's an essential thing or whatever, close this church, close that church, and close down and stay in your house. I did not hear y'all say that. I did not hear him say that. Because if I could have heard him then when he say open, which I did, why didn't I hear him if he's saying close, which I didn't hear? Because he could have spoke as clearly then as he was supposedly speaking now in terms of closing. And many of us obeyed the voice of our enemy instead of obeying the voice of Yah. That's the reason many people hear me, and they have and the families have my sympathy, have my condolences, and all this kind of stuff. But our faith is simply not in what we think is in. Our faith is simply not strong as we think it is. Our faith is not as a grain of mustard seed. And just like Hamashiach said, then, you should be able to speak to that mountain or speak to that this mountain, and it shall obey you. And he said it takes just that much faith to bring down mountains, and get things out of your way. So apparently, many of us, our faith wasn't even at the the mustard seed level, because we gave in and did everything that the elites wanted. Now you're dealing with people that want to want to bring the world population down to to around 500 million or something like that. I could be wrong about it. And look at here, the whole thing anyway was set or sent. They came up with the whole plan anyway, because if you think back from the day that the Israelites, that Pharaoh began to notice how the Israelites or the Yasharites was growing in the land of Egypt. Okay, that's when he first brought them into slavery. Okay, you got to begin to search history, even when Barak, I think that was his name, even began to call on Balaam to come and curse these people because they was growing. There's always been a call to delete Yasharel. If you're following me, that's always been a call to do that. Always been a call to delete Yasharel. Okay, even when Moses was born, that's why his mother had to put him in a basket. And I like the way, matter of fact, I love the way Yahuwah done that. He caused the enemy to raise and Yasharel, a boy, in his house, helped to prepare him there a little bit, and of course he still had a little bit more preparing to be the savior that y'all wanted him to be. But think about that. They even put out a call, to kill the little babies then of Yasharel. The enemy have always desired to kill us, to kill the true chosen people, because the enemy knows, even if we don't know ourselves, even if the nations don't know ourselves, which many of us do, and sure enough, many other nations know who we are. So that's always been that threat up on our heads for this to happen. Okay, remember when Hamashiach came, when and what Herod had put out to do for him. Always been a call to kill, his chosen people. And the enemy, all the way back to Adam and Eve, have tried to destroy or delete anything that even resembles the Most High. He tried to bring about a deletion. And, it goes all the way back to Cain and Abel. And so even when this thing came in 2019, really, you remember the call that, The melanated people would be more susceptible into getting this thing. Melanated people. I'm telling you, and you might not have the balls to say it, but I do. And like I say, my life is not based on whether I'm on Facebook or whether I'm on YouTube or the numbers that it bring in. My allegiance. Let me tell you this here, people. Let me tell you this here. I don't care about groups on these social media platforms. I don't care about so-called families on these social media platform. My allegiance is not with them. My allegiance is with Yahuwah, because if I've seen things over the years, even real families, even real families go along with wrongdoing. See, with the Yahuwah promised to never leave us or forsake us. He promised to never lie on us or do us wrong. He promised to never do those things. Are you following me what I'm saying? That's the reason your allegiance should be with him and him alone. I've seen families, if one is wrong, the other one will follow that wrong. If somebody is saying something right and one family member don't like it, then since your allegiance is with family and not with Yahuwah, you tend to follow that family or that group. Come on, you're following me. I really want you to hear me what I'm saying today now. Now, you can deny these things. You can say that's not so. You can say it all you want to. I've been in this world a lot longer than most of us, and our allegiance have to be with him. Come on, you following me on this? Have to be with him, because people will fail you, and we can have our trust so much in a person. And when the scriptures tells us, that if we put our trust in man, then we are cursed. If we put our trust in man and men and horses and all that kind of stuff, we better watch what we're saying. We better watch where our allegiance is. So it's all right to be a part of a group. I'm not saying that is not okay. It's all right to be a part of this group on this social media platform, or this family on this social media platform. But your true allegiance better be with Yahuwah, because he's the only one that can save you. I'm telling you, I've seen these things happen. I've seen these things happen in real life and on social media life. A family, whether it's real or life, what we can see, or whether it's virtual, I've seen them. Allegiance is with them, each other. I'm not saying that is that you can't trust anyone, but our ultimate trust better be in Yahuwah. Because we are human beings and we will fail you. And if we don't like what you're saying, man, we will dismiss you. And I don't care if you got 50 family members and our allegiance is to one another, then, hey, the old saying, blood is thicker than water. That ain't nothing but a saying. You better be thick with Yahuwah if you're going to stand in these last days, because deception is everywhere. And those that for instance, like this right here. Y'all remember the old what's those movie was? Those movies had a series of them. I can't think of the name of them, but it had to do with the rapture and all that kind of stuff. And people telling on you. I can't think of that movie. Somebody help me to think of the name of those movies that they used to put out. But they used a lot of those movies to deceive us too. They used a lot of those movies. Are y'all hearing me what I'm saying? Somebody put that in the comments, the name of those. Left Behind. That's what they are. Left Behind movies, where you see children telling on parents, telling the Antichrist and his Mongols on parents, or parents telling where their children are and all that kind of stuff. Why? Because their allegiance will be with that one. I mean, their allegiance is not with family when it comes down to, feelings. Because many of us are serving Yahuwah with just feelings and emotions, and have really not been I can't say this, converted. See, conversion deal with more than your head, that you are acknowledging him and you know that he's the only one that can save you. You know what I mean? And you could tell when people have not been truly converted yet because of their actions. All you have to do is just watch fruit. Watch what offends them. All these different things. You know, it is no different than Peter. And I brought this up on one of the lies. You know, Hamashiach told Peter, when you are converted, then you go and strengthen the brethren. What was one of the piece of fruit that said that Peter wasn't already converted? Because he denied him. He cared more about his life, that they was gonna kill him. That's not true conversion, because our lives are not wrapped up in us. Our life, we don't own our life. Yahushua owns our life. These are things to consider and think about, man. Because if we think that our life belongs to us, then we are going to fail and we're going to give in to the little stuff that is coming just like that. You don't know what you would do or what you would say or who you would turn on to save your life if your foundation is not Yahuwah. So you're going to have to make sure he's your foundation. And fear, I titled this thing, you know, are we going to be fearful or are we going to be faithful? And there are some steps that you got to take. There are some moves that you got to make. That's a lot of things that you're going to have to go through in order to be made. And many of us, whether you are Yasharel or whether you're the stranger, don't know this. You don't know this. You can only build muscles if you lift up and down weights, restriction. And none of us want to be restricted from anything. You better understand what you're going to have to go through. And if you're going to make it through, you're going to have to go through some things now to prepare you for these steps. You got to stop getting offended and everything, man, though you're not going to be prepared to go through. Because this thing that they fixing to bring in this and all this fog stuff that they got y'all sending around the world to advertise and all this kind of stuff, putting fear in the people. Listen here, just because if you're not afraid, that's still not going to stop it from coming. But if you are afraid, it's going to cause you to not trust the very one that can save you and protect you, that can put you in that protective bubble. And it doesn't matter what they put out in the air. Now, you may think, now some of you will say this right here to justify your fear or to justify you not allowing yourself to go through. You got to be up on everything. And it's very easy to say, well, the Christian will say this right here. Well, God then gave us 5 senses, which ain't supposed to lead this Ruach man, you know. But just to hold on to it. And you hear Yasharel, well, Yahuwah then gave us 5 senses and this, here, and that. Man, look, let me read some scriptures. Well, let me finish telling you about this story first. This first little old pandemic thing that came along, and they said close the doors and do this here kind of stuff. Listen, I did not do it. You know why? Because I wouldn't have been able to live with myself. My conscience would have just eaten me alive. Why? Because I'm fearful and I'm obeying man rather than Yahuwah, whom I've preached and boasted in, and he's my battle axe and he's my covering in the midst of a storm. He's my strong tower that I can run into and be safe and all this kind of stuff. And then something like this will come along, and then I tuck tail and run in the house. Come on, you better think about what I'm saying. No devil was going to make no fool out of me. And I'm not just going to be one that is speaking without the heart to obey and to trust him. So this is what I did for our group, if you're listening to me. And some people thought we was crazy, and I didn't care what they thought. I didn't care what they thought. Because people will think you crazy when you're following the Most High the way he leads. He doesn't lead like a man. You hear me what I'm saying? He'll tell you to do some things where the world will think that you're crazy, but the only thing that he's looking at whether you obeying him or not. Now you listen to what I'm about to tell you. And I'm gonna bag it up in the scriptures too. You listen to what I'm about to tell you. When that thing came down in 2020, this is what I told our people. This is what I said to our people. Now, I know that y'all might have some fear and stuff. And you might, faith might not be where it need to be at. I said, but this place is not going to close. Because I didn't hear Yahuwah said close it. I did not hear him. We don't understand sometimes that our faith must be tested. Because, man, we could shout the roof down. We could jump up and down. Yahuwah, I believe you, I believe you, I believe you. Because ain't nothing happening. And we're not even expecting nothing to happen. But things are about to happen now. And our stance or our allegiance is going to be proven where it's at. Whether it's in this government, whether it's in people, or whether it's in yourself, or whether it's in Yahuwah. It's fixing to be a showdown. It's fixing to be a showdown. But I want to tell you this here. When that thing came down, my life, I ain't talking about you. I ain't talking about no other preacher. I ain't talking about no other pastor. My life did not change, not one iota. You know why? Because I believed him. And in the particular scriptures that I use, let me go to it here. Let me go to these scriptures. I want to show you something right here. I'm trying to figure out how I can get to it. Then I'm going to show them to you. Oh, no. I really claimed, and I stood on Psalms. I stood on it. See, it's one thing to read this stuff, but it is totally another thing to stand on it. Are y'all following me? Let me find this. It's really a total different thing to stand on what you mean or who you say that you believe in versus who you don't. Okay. Now, I want you to look at what this psalm actually says. I want you to look at what this psalm actually says. I can't hear you. Okay, let me make this a little bigger to make sure y'all can see it. Can you see that? Give me a thumbs up if y'all can see this. Of course, you know what it says, but I'm going to bring out something today. Can you see that? All right, listen to what this here says. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Now, if you're going to go there, you're going to have to abide there. If you're going to speak of him, if you're going to say he's my rock, then you're going to have to live there. Don't let nobody pull you away. Don't let nobody pull you from it by what they are saying or what they are forecasting. Come on. We're going to learn how to walk in true faith and how much that means today and what does that do for you. I'm not saying that sometimes we won't feel something. Yeah, we'll feel something. But ultimately, we're going to have to stand no matter what it looks like. All right. He said this. David said this. He said, I will say of Yahuwah, he is my refuge. He is my fortress, my allure. In him will I trust. Now, many of us can say that when ain't nothing happening. Many of us can say that, and I mean we'll say it, and we'll say it in a boastful way when ain't nothing happening. But the testings are coming. The trials are coming. And these wicked folk is fixing to do something in this earth because they've already told you the next one is going to be worse than the first one. How do they know that if they're not putting it out here? How do they know that? But we, Yasharel, and those that have joined themselves to him, you're gonna have to know who he is now, instead of just talking about his name and this and that. No, your trial period is coming. And we're going to have to know what's going on here. Look what he said. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the nuisance pestilence. So he's telling us that we will be delivered. He's telling us that we will be delivered. You understand me what I'm saying? From these pestilence and from the fowler that's bringing them. All right, look at here. He says, he shall cover thee with the feathers, and under his wings shall thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. What is his truth that's supposed to shield you? What is his buckler that's supposed to protect you? He have said what he's going to do. He have said what he's going to do for us. You hear me what I'm saying? He says, surely he shall deliver thee. He's going to deliver us from the snare that these wicked folk is laying. Now, can we believe that? Or are we going to believe what our eyes see? Because everybody saw the fall. I'm not going to broadcast it for them. Everybody saw this, and people know that it ain't real. But I promise you, Yasharel, I am not crawling in no hole. Where you may say, well, you a fool if you don't, and this and that. I guess that's what I am. I guess that's what I am, because I choose to believe the Father. My life didn't change. My life didn't change when they brought this other crap in the earth. And that crap came out the water. And if you understand what I'm talking about now, that's the reason I'm saying we got to get away from this light stuff and go with the deeper things in the Most High. Stuff came out the water. What do you think I'm talking about? Because there's a kingdom there that many of you don't even know about that is producing a lot of this stuff. This kingdom produces a lot of our food. This kingdom that is in the water, this that is in the world produces a lot of our medicines. That's the reason there are poisons in it. This kingdom. And that crap came out the water last time. But we always talking about Yahuwah's kingdom. Come on now. We're always talking about his kingdom, and I'm going to be a part of his kingdom. Oh, really? There are still things you got to cross over to be eligible for that kingdom. Because we can just speak of trust and truth and all this kind of stuff, but it hadn't been foundated in our hearts yet. Man, we can talk a good fight. I promise you can. But this thing gonna have to be made. You're gonna have to be made. You ever wonder why the road to destruction is a broad road and many is up on that road versus the road that leads us to eternal life and peace and everlasting bliss, if you want to call it that? And he says, and few be up on that road. You ever wonder why is that? It's not because it's most people is accepting Satan than it is the devil. No, that's not the reason. The reason is that we won't allow ourselves to be made to go through nothing. We won't allow ourselves to be made to go through anything. That's what's happening here. We are offended at a dime, a penny. We are offended if somebody say black. We are offended if somebody say white. We are offended at everything. So it's impossible for you to be made to go through this stuff. He never promised us that it was going to be easy in this life. It ain't going to be easy until we get over into the next life, into his kingdom where sin will not be. You got people that'll lose loved ones and say, well, if he sold this and why did he lose? Why did he allow this here to happen? Because sin is in the done world. Time for us to wake up, Yasharel. Quit being offended in everything. Huh? And you don't know what great-great-grandmama sold. You don't even know what her mama sold to bring the enemy into her life to even slay her. You don't know these things. And you know our people, if truth be told, because we sometimes tell the truth about other people, but we won't tell the truth about ourselves. And you know how our people were wrapped up in curses and voodoo and hoodoo and all this kind of stuff and casting spells on folk. You don't want to talk about that, but that stuff is so. And then you wonder why we like this here too. We have sold things. And so therefore, we must not only repent for ourselves, we must repent all the way down our line. All the way down our line. I'm telling you, man. You don't know how many altars, demonic altars, that the Most High had to use me to turn over in people's lives and break the curses that somebody working on them on an altar in another state somewhere. But he revealed it, what was going on. I mean, we just want to get on this thing and play, and Yehuda and Yahuwah and Yehuda and even the stranger or Yahuwah, his name. You better go deeper. You better go deeper. And you better stop being so lily soft that can't no one teach you nothing. Just like I said the other day, y'all can't teach us, but we can teach y'all. And you get mad at that. I'm tired of this crap. And when that continues to go on, we will never become foundated in Yahuwah and to realize how things really are. But look what he said right here in verse 4. He says, I shall cover thee. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shall thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and thy buckler. Verse 5, thou shalt not be afraid of the terror by night, nor for the arrows that flieth by day. But we are. We are. This stuff that the wicked is planning to do, it is nothing but arrows that is flying by night. Terror that is flying by night, because some of us are terrified. We're getting already prepared up to mummify ourselves because what they are saying, as though Yahuwah has no power in what he's saying. I'm telling you, we got to rethink this thing if you're going to make it. This is why so few of us are going to make it in, Hebrew and Gentile, because we've fallen for the crap. You may say, well, this is no crap. It is when it comes down to Yahuwah, who Yahuwah is telling us to trust him. And look what he says right here. Look what he said in verse 8. Well, now in verse 7. This is really, look at this right here. He's telling us, he said, 1,000 shall fall by thy side. Who is thy? You who claiming that you believe him. You that's claiming that you trust him. He said 1,000 folk are gonna fall by your side, and 10,000 at your right hand. That means these people gonna be deleted. They're gonna be deleted. But look what he told us. But it shall not come near you. How many of us believe that? Because we seeing the turmoil in the world, so we go by what our eyes see and we begin to fear. No, we don't like that it's here. But since it's here and our Father told us it's gonna be here, we're gonna have to believe our Father if we're gonna be rescued out of this. Come on, you follow me? You follow me, Yesharal? You follow me, stranger? I promise you, this is the way it is. My Akis, this is the way it is. We're living in some evil times. And the Most High have already told us that these evil people is going to rule. He's going to let them rule for a minute there. But and look what it says here in verse 8. So he already told you some folk gonna die. Wonder who these folk are. Wonder who they are. Could it be the ones that run around here saying, hallelujah, I love you, I love you, I love you, but never got foundated, never got foundated. Everything you said, it just offended them. Can't accept no kind of truth. Only in the way that they want to hear truth. And knowing that the scripture told us, how we should use the word. Use it to teach, use it to rebuke. But we don't want that. We don't want that. We don't want to be rebuked. Well, if you're in error, you need to be rebuked, but you can't take that. This is what Paul was telling Timothy how to use the word. You use it to lift up and rebuke with all long suffering. We act like we don't ever read that stuff right there. But if you're listening to a lot of these Gentile teachers, you ain't going to ever hear it. But they ain't got no business teaching us this. They ain't got no business teaching us anything. You're always going to hear this love doctrine. You're always going to hear, oh, Yahuwah, his name, and this here and that, and he love us, and we are part. We are of the tribe. That's all you're going to hear. I promise you now. And that stuff is not going to prepare you for what you need to be and where you need to go. It's not going to prepare you for the flight. You'll be somewhere laying up in a ditch in a morgue because we will not allow our faith to be tested. So, or just like John 15 says, to be pruned so that we can bring forth more fruit. We just take the little old fruit that we have and we think that's going to take us through this evil world life journey. No, 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 no. We got to get it together, Yasharel. Stranger, if you want to come on, you got to get it together too. All of you are not, but some of you are just trusting in your lies and how you want things to be. All of you are not. But I'm telling you the way it is. I'm telling you the way it is. Like I said before, you've been controlling, teaching this stuff all along, and we ain't know nothing. We haven't known anything. And then I come over here and say boldly what's been happening, this here and that, and some of you even get mad at that. You can get mad all you want to. But listen to this right here again. He says, some of you going to die. It says 1,000 of them is going to die at your side. And perhaps 10,000 of them is going to die at your right hand. But we have a promise if we would only truly trust. He said, but ain't none of it going to come near you. Do we believe that? I'm telling you, I've lived that. I've saw that. Like I told you in this last thing that they brought, my life did not change. And I conveyed that over to our people. We went to work. We came home. We didn't mummify ourselves. And nobody got nothing because we stood. We stood on what the Most High said. Are y'all following me? We stood. We stood. Yeah, like your faith ain't going to be tested. It's going to be tested. Don't be afraid of what the wicked is doing. I'm going to show you the reason why in a minute. Look what he said in verse 8. He says, only with thine eyes shall thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. So he's letting you know who's doing this stuff already. He said, only with your eyes is you going to see what's going to happen to them. Faith is more deeper than what we have perceived it to be. Just like I said, we just think faith is just asking him to pay a bill for us because we don't have the money. We think just faith is just something that, I don't know, I got faith, I believe you, and this and that, when things ain't going right. Come on. It's deeper than that. It's a relationship. It's a relationship that is known and that is sealed. This is my Father, and I'm trusting in my Father's protection. Because after all, he's the only one that we got. We're up against the sons of Belial. Now you go look up that and see what that means. This is what we're up against. And they've always tried to destroy and delete Yasharel. Even when the first thing came, they want to test the jab in Africa. Them leaders stood up. Test it on your own folk. Test it on your own folk. And the first thing we did, Yasharel, we ran to them. We trust everything that they say. And and the whole thing was aimed at us anyway. You better ask the Most High. If you got that thing, you better ask the Most High to cleanse your blood. Because that thing is setting up in you to bring some destruction later. We know these things for a fact. But we couldn't tell you nothing because you trust in everything these pagans say. And you do it because you're fearful. And we can't be walking around here in fear. We cannot be walking around here in fear. And I know this thing right here going to get some shadow banning what I'm saying today. But guess what? I'm not afraid. And neither you should be. You shouldn't be afraid neither. You know why? Because when you know that you've been called, listen to me. And you know the ins and outs of things and accept what Yahuwah have said to us, be just like a Mashak. You go and you tell that fox, I'm going to walk today. I'm going to walk tomorrow. You hear me? This is what we got to do. This is what we got to be, Yasharel. This is what we got to be now. Come on. Are y'all hearing me what I'm saying? If you hear me what I'm saying, give me a thumbs up. If you are really hearing me what I'm saying. You ain't got to, but I want you to know if you're hearing me or not. Shoot, it ain't too many folk commenting on this thing right here. Because y'all just think I'm crazy when I go on here. I'm crazy. I'm crazy. Hear me what I'm saying. And knowing these wicked people, they probably already thank you, Ben. Thank you. And they have already trying to down it and kick you out anyway, because they don't like when truth is being said. What did the Bible? What does our scriptures tells us about the evil one? says he was a liar in the beginning. He's the father of lies. And so you think, and then it tells us that he is the ruler of this world. So you think that you're living in this world under a ruler that don't know how to do anything but lie, and everything that you've been taught is the truth. Everything that they say is the truth. Oh, pandemic coming, worse than this, and then there we go, mummifying ourselves up instead of proving and walking by faith. Because if it's your time, Yahuwah says it's your time. If you walking in true faith, I'm telling you, and it ain't your time to go nowhere, guess what? You're protected just as he said. I'm your shield and I'm your buckler. Hey, son, I see you. Thank you. Are y'all following me? Please follow me. You're gonna have to get your feet set for what these wicked folk is doing in this earth, because they don't have more power than the one you say you believe in, and that's Yahusha. But your faith it has to be tested. Ours is being tested every day. We're trying to start this thing, get this thing going on in Africa. Let me share you something. And I know I'm all over the place here, but it's just a lot in me to share. It's just a lot in me, and I'm gonna come back to where I am. Just like I said before, there's people, some woman, I know a name, that said that what we're trying to do in Africa is some rotten crap. White woman said that. Let me tell you how Yahuwah is and how he would do. Don't make no difference than he said that. I had a white brother come to my house this morning. Matter of fact, just left a little while ago, though I would have went on this live a little earlier. This white woman said this. She called this some rotten crap trying to help our people over there in Africa. You got me what I'm saying? And then a white brother come to my house this morning and lay $1,000 in my hand toward this work. So all of them are not the same. And only the ones that get offended is the one that's like that. And you know what this brother said? He said, I said, man, let me show you. He said, you don't have to show me the proof. He said, I believe you. I believe you because of what I have on the inside of me. What he said to me. Are y'all following me? I promise you. I promise you. So Yahuwah is going to provide for this work. And I thank for all. I'm grateful for all the ones that have given. I am, and my Cash App and my PayPal is still pinned to my page. I don't care if it's $5. Give toward the work. Your giving is not in vain. But this is what this white woman said. But this white brother came, and maybe this might cover her. I don't know. I'm just cutting up now. But hey, the work is going to go on whether people like it or not. And we could tell true, faithful people. Now, it's just like what Yahuwah had told me. Some I have asked. So he's giving you an opportunity to be Baruch. But the chosen is already Baruch. But he says, some I have asked to give, but I also have I have also chose others to do it. And that white brother there is just one of them chosen. Now, do you think that I could carry something in my heart toward white folk when this man has been my friend for a while? He knows me. I'll be stating facts when I'm talking. I'll be stating facts about whether you're melanated or whether you pale. I'm stating facts. And why are you going to get offended at facts because your hearts are not right? Well, let me get back to this right here, because we cannot fear this crap that is coming up if we saying that we are Yasharel. We cannot fear. But all that stuff in the first time was aimed at us. There's always been a plot to kill true Yasharel. Don't think the enemy don't know who true Yasharel is. He just never wanted you to know. That's always been a plot. And even when they brought that thing in 2020, it was really a plot to kill us. That's the reason they were telling you, well, the black community, they're most susceptible. They're most susceptible to it. So they need to trying to encourage you to take that stick. You hear me? Trying to encourage you to take that pen, because then they know they got your life. But listen here, but most of them was deleted than us. We're strong. We're strong people. That's the reason they have worked for millenniums to destroy you. because we are strong people. We're strong. So you're going to have to put your faith where your heart is. You know, kind of like you're saying, put your money where your mouth is. It's time for you now to put your faith in him where your heart is and not just in your head. If you're going to survive what the sons of Belial is doing, if you're going to survive what the sons of Belial is doing, you better put your faith there. I don't care if you're mad at me. I don't care if you don't have anything to do with me. I do not care, not one iota. This is your life. This is your life. This is your life. And this is for some too that just doesn't want me to be right about it. Been right about a lot of things. I'm not right about everything, but I've been right about a lot of things, huh? And you hate it because pride is in you. And you know what the scripture says about pride. Pride goes before destruction, letting you know you're going to be destroyed. And because of your pridefulness, you have a haughty heart. Pride goes before destruction and haughtiness before a fall. You better pay a scripture. You better pay attention to the book and let that thing be poured into you. I don't care if it was your worst enemy that named Jack was telling you these facts and truth. You better understand what Jack is saying, and you better consider what Jack is saying, because it could save your life. It could save your whole family life, because a lot of us are simply not walking in the foundation of faith like we think we are, because we ain't been able to be told anything. We hadn't been able to be told anything. And a lot of you Gentiles out there, you just so determined to just be us until you can't get founded in the faith. You just so wanting to be us now. No, accept who you are and accept what our Father is offering to you and come on into the kingdom that way. Accept that his children are black folk. The root is black folk. You hear me? You got to accept that, because if you don't be accepting of that, how are you going to tell me you accepting of him? It doesn't work like that, because he knows the in and outs of it. I see some of you now changing your names, putting y'all on it, when your ancestors took ours and gave us y'all names. Let me quit messing with folks. Let me finish this, because I'm really trying to help you here. I'm really trying to help you here. Look what he said, though. He says, only with their eyes shall thou behold and see the reward of the wicked, right? And then he said right here, because thou hast made Yahuwah, which is your refuge, even the Most High, your habitation, your place in which you live, your place in which you stay. Faith have brought you here. Faith is keeping you here. And it's just not just shallow talking and I love him and I got faith. No, he said, because you have made him your habitation. It's just like your house where you at now. That's where you live. That's where you stay. That's where you be. If you want to find me, come to my house. This isn't, you know what I mean? This is what he means right here. It ain't this shallow stuff. It's not this shallow stuff now. You're going to have to believe in him. And Christianity and preventing the whole, this devil has went before you. Because we trusted in him, because we disobeyed our father, this enemy wants to be our father. So, and our father tells us that he will go before us and he will be our real reward. But instead, we got the ruler of this world doing this right here. And we believe in him. He done went before us. He went before us and established Christianity. He went before us and did a whole bunch of stuff and made Christianity look like it is biblical. It's not biblical. You get offended all you want to. You get offended all you want to. Are y'all following me? You get offended all we want to. But we better listen to what I'm saying today. Look what he said right here. He says, there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. Do we believe that? See, we just can't speak these things. This stuff has got to be positioned in our heart. His words got to be positioned in our heart. You know, the scripture says, and they kind of changed it a little bit, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. No, it's if you receive the truth will make you free. Because a lot of folk know it and still deny it. By them denying that that's the truth, it don't mean that they don't know it. Because in order to deny something, you have to know it first. Are y'all following me? Them that receive the truth, you see, it's going to make you free. Who? Y'all got to help me here. You got to help me here. It says, for he shall give his angels charge over you. Do we believe that? Do we believe that? Lest I dash thy foot against a stone. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and adder, the young lion, and the dragon shall thou trample underfoot. You see the authority that we have? Man, we have authority, but we don't believe it. We just believe everything that they have said and told us. We have authority. Because he has set his love. Now that was David talking before, but now Yahuwah, our Father, is talking. Now the Creator, the King of glory, is talking. And he's saying this to you. Because you have set your love upon me, therefore will I deliver you. I will set you on high because you have known my name. Now look what he said, because you have known my name. That's past tense. But some of us are just still around that. Still around that. No, he's doing what he's doing now because you have learned it. Now you know it. And now you standing in it. Because his name carried deep, man. Come on. You have known it. He said in verse 15, he shall call upon me. Why call upon him? Stop calling up on pharmaceutical. Stop that. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. Trouble coming. Do we believe it, Yasharel? Trouble is coming. It's coming. And we see it every day. But what we are doing about it, we just on social media talking about it and this here and that, and not preparing to get ourselves founded in the way, in our Father, so that we can continue, so that he can do these things in us that he have already promised. Are you following me? Please follow me. Please follow me. Please listen to what I'm saying. Because this thing is about what he has said, not about what they are doing. The wicked going to do these things. And I'm going to show you that in a minute and what's going to happen to them. All right. He says that I will be with him in trouble, and I will deliver him and honor him. And honor him. Verse 16 says, with long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation. With long life. Look at what Yahuwah promising you, and these people telling you they're going to delete you early. Now, what do we, are we going to believe this? Which one are we going to believe? Are we going to believe the sons of Belial, or are we going to believe Yahuwah? The one that we brag on, the one that we're so proud to be the children of, and all this kind of stuff. Which one is it? Because this last thing that came, it told the difference. It told the difference. It separated, so to speak, the men from the boys. And I promise you, when I tell you this, I'm not a liar. My life never changed. My life never changed. Matter of fact, people was offended because I wasn't mummified up. And then they're going to try to say this stuff where you putting the rest of us in danger. How I'm putting you in danger? You the one that got the stuck. Got the stick. If all this crap is true, what you're saying look like, hey, you be putting me in danger. Or I'm just putting myself in it. You don't go for the hype that the ruler of this world is telling us. Are y'all following me? You don't go for the hype. Don't go for the hype. But we go for everything that we see. Now look at here now. Let me say this here to you. Most of the time, let me remove this for a minute. Look, most of the time, that's a reason why I told you that my trust My allegiance ain't with groups and ain't with families, you know, on this social media. They ain't, my allegiance is with Yahuwah and Yahuwah alone. Let me tell you something. My wife told me about this, and I think I mentioned it to you once before. My wife dreamt a dream where she saw a whole lot of chaos coming. Only way she can describe it was storms. It's trouble coming, and it was one big building, and she saw all denominations. I think I've mentioned this to y'all, but hey, it'll profit you to hear it again. All denominations crowded in that building, all kind of churches. We live, we just all kind of churches went into that building to seek safety. And you know what? People of y'all, you know what? All of them were still to themselves. When nobody coming together, when nobody won, you see, when not a one, all on was all cramped up, shaking the way she was telling it, and fearful, But when everybody was still with their denomination, still with their group. What does that tell you? People are trusting in denominations. People are trusting in churches. People are trusting in who they think they are and what they think they know. And that allegiance is not with him. That allegiance is not with him. Come on, are you following me? It's not with him. So you better rethink this thing. You better rethink this thing. I promise you. Oh, is anybody hearing me today? Please be hearing me. Please be hearing me. Oh, I know Facebook ain't wanting this stuff to go through. Let me read some here. Let me tell you how our attitude is supposed to be about the things that the wicked is doing. Let me go to this scripture here. Oh, no. Where is that at? And I think it's in Psalms 36. I'm gonna read this out of the Septuagint. 36. Got this devil carrying on. He's trying to freeze up my my computer here. But no. Now, it might be in Psalms 37 in your slave Bible, meaning the KJV, but it's in Psalms 36 in the Septuagint. The Brent, I forgot the guy's last name, the Brent addiction. It's the closest thing and to the truth, even though they still got LORD and GOD in it. The Belials have touched everything in this earth, have touched everything. But this is what it says here. This is what we really need to just stop reading and just for casual reading and to brag on it when ain't nothing ever happened. This is what you're going to have to believe, Yasharel, stranger. This is what you're going to have to believe in order to hold up or to stand up against what is coming. Because this crap is coming. The crap is coming. Look what it says. Let me put it up on the screen for you. Look what it says right here. Look at verse 1. It says, this is a Psalm of David. Then it says, fret not thyself because of evildoers. And I know that y'all know these scriptures, but do you know it down in your knower? Do you know it in your head, or have you accepted it in your heart? Because if we have accepted it in our hearts, we wouldn't be making the plans that people are telling us to make. Just like I just read to you in Psalm 31. He said, this stuff is happening. These pestilence going to come, but it ain't going to come near you. So why do I have to mummify myself up? I'm just being honest with you. This is what true faith look like. I mean, true faith. But you're going to have to allow the pruning. You're going to have to allow the shearing for us to do this. Are y'all following me? Man, few is going to be saved. He said, fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious of them that do iniquity. Y'all hear that? Neither be thou envious of them that do iniquity. I know you see that. Who's doing the iniquity? These wicked people that is ruling this world. Wicked. Wicked. You hear me? Wicked. It says, for they shall soon be withered. They shall soon be withered as the green grass, as the grass, and shall soon fall away as the green herb. Look what verse 2 says on this other side right here, on this other side of the parallel scriptures that I got. That's the Slave Bible. Look what it says. It says in verse 2, and they shall soon be cut down like grass and wither as the green herb. Look, you cut grass down, you grow back. You got me? Look at the wording. You cut grass down, it grows back. But look what it says in this Septuagint here. And shall soon fall away as green. It shall soon be withered. Anytime you're seeing grass withering, that means the root is dying too. You see. But if you just cut it, ain't no root dying. It's going to come back. Ain't no root dying. But if it's being withered, see when it's when you cut it down, the root is still in the ground, very much alive, and it comes back. But if you see grass withering, something wrong with the root system. When you see it withering, come on, you're following me. Don't confuse it with when frost come to grass and it just begin to turn brown. No, the root system is okay. It's just getting ready for new things. For new things. We used to have this thing back in the day. You know, we used to burn our yards off. You know, and while right before the spring come back in, while the grass is still brown and dry, we would burn it off. It ain't hurting the root. It's not killing the root. The fire ain't even killing the root. And so when it grows back, it will grow back more greener, more plush, more lush, more beautiful than what it really was. That was the purpose of burning it. So we burn the old stuff off. Are y'all following me? So there's a difference in, like this KJV is saying, cutting it down, then it's being withered. But anyway, it says this. It says, hope in Yahuwah and do good and dwell on the land. On the land. King James said dwell in it. But anyway, on the land, and thou shalt be fed with the wealth of it. Delight thyself in Yahuwah, and he shall grant thee the request of thine heart. How are you going to delight yourself when wicked folk is ruling? When wicked folk is trying to delete your children and delete you and everything else? How you going to delight yourself in him? By trusting him. We don't have to like what's going on, but I'm going to delight myself in him. Because he's telling you what's happening. He says right here, he says, disclose thy way to Yahuwah and hope in him, and he shall bring it to pass. What is he talking about there? Look at the other side right here, what it says. It says, commit thy way unto Yahuwah. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. Commit your way. No. He says, the Septuagint says, disclose. In other words, tell him about your junk. Tell him about how you are. Instead of denying it, bring about that disclosure. Bring about that. Let him tell he want to hear from your mouth. And he's going to help you with this. See, many of us have yet to know how. It's not everyone. Many of us are yet to know how to be totally honest with him. Come on, y'all feeling me? Many of us are yet know how to be honest with him, to disclose some stuff. But he said he's going to bring some stuff to pass. Look at verse 6. It says, and he shall bring forth thy righteousness as the light, and thy judgment as the noonday. Why is he going to do that? Because you telling him about your junk. You telling him about your sin. Because that's the only way he can bring forth your righteousness. Because a man that conceal or hide his sin, the scripture says that we shall not prosper. Does your scripture says that? Or is it just mine? Come on. If you have the Holy Scriptures, it says that. So disclose your way. Stop trying to hide it. And then if you do that, then I'm going to bring forth your righteousness, Yahuwah says. I'm going to bring it forth. Right? Look at here what he says right here in verse 7. Submit thyself to Yahuwah and supplicate. Pray to him. Talk to him. Fret not thyself because of him that prospers in his way. How is he prospering? Don't fret at that man that's prospering out there. Now, these are not all people, but it's the majority because he's dealing with a certain context here. He said, fret not thyself at him that's prospering in his way, at the man that does unlawful deeds. Unlawful deeds. This is how they're prospering. They're doing wickedness. And we just eating it up and we are just covering up ourselves because of what they're doing, like we don't have no allure. Like we don't have no allure. Like he have just spoken to, we just run around afraid, scared, like we don't have no allure. You just think if all the people of Yah really get together and make this determination. We give these people most of their power to work through our fearing them. Through our fearing them. Come on, is anybody hearing me what I'm saying today? Time to wake up. Time to wake up. I'm not caring nothing about no fog coming, and fog is everywhere, and the stuff that they putting out in this atmosphere because I'm under a bubble, so to speak. My life is not going to change. It's not going to change. If I'm going to be afraid, you know what I'm going to be afraid of? I'm going to be fearful that yours change, that you don't believe Yahuwah. That's what I'm going to be fearful of. I'm just speaking the truth here. Time for us to rise up, Yasharel. And stranger, if you're going to attach yourself, no more just talking this game. You're going to have to walk it now. You're going to have to walk this thing out. You are going to have to walk this thing out. Are you hearing me what I'm saying? You're going to have to walk this thing out. This is what we have to do. Look at verse 8. It says, cease from anger and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself as to do evil. Because sometimes the stuff that they're doing, it makes you want to go and knife them. I'm just cutting up. It makes you want to do something. You heard of these postal workers going in doing stuff what they doing, and people just do this kind of stuff. But he's telling us not to do that. It says, for evildoers shall be destroyed. Our Father is assuring us, these evildoers will be destroyed. But they that wait upon Yahuwah shall inherit the land. Look at verse 10. And yet a little while, and the sinner shall not be. Are y'all hearing this? In a little while, the sinner shall not be. Just in a little while. Are you following me? He's telling us that. They're doing this stuff. They are doing this stuff. But Yahuwah is promising us in just a little while, just keep your trust, keep your faith, keep hoping in me, get foundated, because in a little while, you ain't going to be able to find these guys. You're not going to be able to find these guys. In a little while, the sinner shall not be, and thou shalt seek his place. In other words, you're going to look for him, but he ain't going to be nowhere to be found. And we're running around here with chickens, like chickens with our heads cut off, afraid of this stuff because of what they are saying. What they are saying. We are yielding to them breathing out their threatenings. Come on. If we're going to be mad about that. Are you following me? Be mad about that. Be upset about that. Look at his promise here. But the meek shall inherit the earth. and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. The meek shall inherit the earth. I thought we were going to heaven. I thought we were going to spend eternity in heaven. Y'all know what I'm getting at, don't you? Because these are the lies we've been told by these wicked folk. Wicked. Just wicked, man. Wicked. And we believe the wicked people over. Look at verse 12. The sinner will watch for the righteous to gnash his teeth upon him. In other words, they're seeking you out. They're wanting to do evil to you. They're looking for you to do evil to you. But look what Yahuwah is going to do. Yahuwah says, I'm going to laugh at him because I know, or I foresee, that his day will come. And we're running around here scared. I'm telling you, Yasharel, there's no reason to be. There's no reason to be yielding to what the wicked is saying. He's going to do what he got to do. But I promise you, if you're trusting in Yahuwah, he will bring all of this to pass and he will protect you. He will protect you. He will. Test him. Try him. The only way I mummify up is that Yahuwah tells me. But he don't have to tell a bunch of us because we're going to do what the wicked says. Not knowing. Oh, Father, help us. Let your people see. Let your people see. Let your people become strong in the way that you have prepared for us. Help us all to believe in your words because your words are life. They are life. Not what the sons of Belial are saying. They are speaking death, but you speak life. Help us to believe you. To believe you in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Help us, Father. Help us, Father. And I'm about done with this. It says, sinners have drawn their swords. He's telling you what they have done. They have bent their bows to cast down the poor and the needy and to slay the upright in heart. Do you not see all this happening and have been happening? And everything is coming to a head now. This is what the sinner is doing. They're hunting you. They're hunting you. They can't do anything. Look how the KJV want to throw you off. Look at that verse 14 in there. It says the wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy and to slay such as be of upright conversation. Like your talk is just good. Oh, they're talking, but they talking. No, this joker want to slay your life. Your life. Now you can pull up your Greek and conversation means manner of living and all that kind of stuff. That's what they say. But to just read this and ain't nobody got no strong concordance and all this kind of stuff, that person in their ignorance will think that they just want to stop you just from talking, which they do want to do. You might be engaged in a conversation and they are trying to listen in on and slay you and stop you from, they do want to do that. But this is talking about your life, your heart. Let me move on. It says, let their sword enter into their own heart. You see what Yahushua do? If we would just simply believe him. If we would just simply believe him. This is what he will do. If we would just simply believe him. But time is going to tell. All this stuff is coming. And you can say all you want to. Well, Yahuwah gave us 5 senses. And none of them senses is supposed to lead this Ruach man. And none of those physical senses is supposed to lead. Let me pull this down. And none of those senses is supposed to lead this Ruach man. Not a one of them. So hear me what I'm saying, Yasharel. Hear me what I'm saying. Let's prepare ourselves. Let's prepare ourselves to do what? To really get foundated, to get rooted, to get grounded in what Yahuwah have already told us and what he has said to us. And not walk around in fear of what these wicked people got planned. He told us that it's going to come. But he gave us a promise in Psalms 91 that it shall not come near us. He told you that people were going to die. He told you that people was going to lose their life more on your right side than what left on your left side. He said, but it ain't going to come near you. Can we believe that? Can we stand on that and stop just talking it? Stop just talking it if we don't really believe in it. Because these are testing times that we're living in. Trouble have always weeded out, the men from the boys. Allure allow these things to happen. Because guess what? He's getting those true and founded ones also, versus the one that just want to talk, versus the one that just want to deny the truth, versus the one that want to be this when they're not, and not confessing it that they this, or that they that, or that they're not. When they're confessing it, then that'll help to bring them into where he wants them to be. Come on. But I just wanted to come over here and just talk about a little bit about this stuff that is coming, these fogs, this next pandemic that is coming, because it's surely coming. But I promise you, you don't have to be afraid of it. Do like the 3 Hebrew boys told King Nebuchadnezzar. If he don't deliver me, we're still not bowing down to you. We will not bow down to you. We will worship Yahuwah, and him alone shall we serve. We're not going to eat your dainty foods. We're not going to do none of this. You say you're going to put me in the fire furnace. You're going to bring havoc in my life. Bring it. And I'm still not going to bow down to you. This is what we got to come to, Yasharel. This is what we have to put our faith in him alone. Not just talk this talk, but we're going to have to walk this walk. And Baal's getting offended and everything and listening to these little old penny Andy teachings, and maybe some of us need that. I shouldn't say it like that, because maybe that's a starting point to some of us. So I beg your pardon on that, and I'm sorry. So some of our people need that. But some of you guys that's been around this thing for 5, 6, 10 years, no, you're gonna have to come on and need some deeper stuff so that you could be grown. Look, I come from a big family, and I'm one of the oldest kids. And mom and dad, they had to make sure, and when they leave, they didn't have to worry, because you have older kids over the younger ones that can still make sure things are going on. So we need you to come out of them little 5 and 10-year-old people that been in this thing a while, in 20 years. We need you to stop and trying to suck the baby's bottle and begin to eat the steak that is put before your mouth, and so that we can raise them up, because you sucking their milk, and you'll never be able to feed them if you're still on milk yourself. And I don't mean this in a harsh way. I'm just saying it just like it is. And you ain't got to hear me. You don't have to hear me. But I'm warning you, stuff is coming. And if we're not spiritually prepared for it, you're going down. You're going down. Are you following me? So just remember that. And I'm going to finish. I'm going to give you an opportunity to ask some questions here, because something I might have said, or you might not have said, that you want a clear understanding of. And but if you have any questions, if you understand me what I'm saying, just let me know. Let me know. One of the things that I get tired of dealing with, and that's vainness. I know we still got to put the word out there and stuff, but and I know that Jeremiah, or should I say Yirmiyahu, ministry spanned some 40 or 50 years, and he didn't have not one convert, but he was still successful. I told you that in the eyes of Yah, because he obeyed Yah. So if y'all got an understanding of what I'm talking about, and if this thing really hits you in a different way, that you're going to have to do more in terms of and understand more in terms of what really trusting Yahuwah is, just give me that thumbs up. That's all. And then I know I've done my job here, and maybe you'll look closer into what needs to be done concerning you being totally converted, because there's a lot of crap coming. It is a lot of crap coming. And the stranger is going to realize it too, because they've been told that they're going to get out of here in the rapture. No, you're going through it. You're going through it. So you might as well just build you houses there. Just like the first time Yahshua went, I mean, not the first time, but when they went into captivity into Babylonians for those 70 years, and the Most High told them, build your houses there. Marry, have some children, so you won't become diminished while you're in the land. Why? What you mean don't come diminished? 70 years and I'll be diminished? Yeah, because they're going to kill some of you. So I need you to keep growing. Need you to keep growing. Build your houses, marry, have children. So come on, Yasharel. It's all good. It's all good. I'm gonna go. No one has questions. Oh, I guess some of them. Well, no one has questions, but it's all good. And I want y'all to know that I love you. And the only reason why I come on this thing talking to you like this, because this is not me, really. But the only reason why I come on this thing talking to you like this is because I want you to make it in. I want you to know that this thing is not just it's not going to be smooth like many of your teachers and your leaders have told you. No, you're gonna have to come on through. You're gonna. I mean, everything out there in this world is determined to make you doubt and to take your faith away, because that's all we have. He that cometh to Yahuwah must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder to them that diligently seek him. Faith, man, true faith, and not the way Christianity have taught it. We've been taught faith by people that really, and not all of you now. We've been taught faith by people that ain't never had want for nothing. And you gonna teach me faith? No, none of that. None of that. Mm-mm. We've been taught faith by people that ain't never, a lot of them that ain't never went through nothing. And I remember the old washboards. Didn't have no washing machine. Had to get out there and screw up your clothes with a number 10 tub or whatever it was. And man, come on. Mm-mm. No. Help us, Yahuwah. We've been taught faith by people that ain't even never experienced trouble a day in their life. Let me tell you something. We've been taught faith by such people that I was watching this documentary, and I'm fixing to go for real. I was watching this documentary about thank you, Fanny. Fanny said there are things to do and work to be done. I was watching this documentary about when the tsunami came through. What was that place? In 2004. I think it was the what was that place, Bob? Was it the Philippines? It was a bad tsunami. 167,000 people was killed in that tsunami. 167,000 people, and one woman that was on the thing that they was interviewing was interviewing her, and she was and her husband was a scuba diver, and he had just went out to scuba dive right before this thing came, and so he was killed, and 160, because more than one wave came in, and you know what this lady said, and she was a stranger. She said one of the things, well, the thing that was really on my mind, and I want y'all to hear this right here, because nature shows. One of the things that was on my mind, wonder did my dog make it? Are y'all hearing me? Wonder did my dog make it? 167,000 human beings, one of them being her husband. And she worried about a done mutt. And you supposed to teach me. Mm-mm. No. So all you got to do is just look for little things, and whether it would make people eligible to do this or do that or not. But anyway, I'm done with all that. No. Watch Yasharel. Watch Yasharel. Sink yourself deeper off into Yahuwah. Sink yourself deeper off into his Ruach. Know that he means what he says, and he says what he means. Are you following me? I will show you this if I could find it. I will show you this if I could find it. I'm not even going to speak of it because I might not could find it. I might not could find it right now. 6. That's not it. So I'm not even going to say anything. Maybe I'll come back another time with that. But I want you to know about the sons of Belial. I want you to know about them. I want you to know about them. Okay, let me read this comment and then we're going to go, hopefully. Yes, and if we, the chosen ones, refuse to do the needful, Yahuwah will let the other nations do it, and he will baruch them so much for it that we will be jealous of them. I hear you, son. We must wake up. Amen to that. Amen to that. We have to trust in him and promise. Have to trust in him. I promise you, he is real. Yes, he is real, Fanny. May Yahuwah baruch y'all for your comments and different things of that. And I just want to thank you. And I'm just scrolling through a few of them because we don't have but a few. I found oldest original writings in his name, of his name, Yahoo. This is what Brother Ben said. He said, I found oldest original writing of his name is Yahoo. Come on, brother. I got you. Ecclesiasticus, which is the book of Sirach, is one of my favorite. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. And I just want to thank y'all for coming and just joining and just but I'm telling you, like and share this thing. This thing is streaming on YouTube too. Like and share it on that if you have that platform. Other people need to hear it, rather than these few that is just on it. Let it circulate. Give the enemy something to be mad about. Because I know that there are certain things that I said that he don't like, and he's gonna try to get away from it and do away with it. Let him do it. Let him work for a minute. Let him work. Can't let you wanting to be popular on social media stop you from really expounding on the truth. No, no. It's all about Yahuwah. It's all about Yahuwah. It's all about you speaking the truth to his people. But I'm gonna go, and I'm just I love you all. I really do. I love you, and that's just what it is. Just what it is. I'm gonna tell you this here, and whether it's physical, natural family, or social media family, never. And I'm telling you something because I've been through a lot of stuff. Never be more devoted to them than you are to Yahuwah. Never. Learn from that. Go and learn from that. Never be more dedicated to them than you are Yahuwah. Never be. You can love them until you get a headache. Never let your devotion to them supersede your devotion to Yahuwah, Yahusha. Are you following me? Because you are destined to get off then. You are destined to get off then. Now, you may think that's crazy, but no, our allegiance must be first to him and then to them. Then to them. I love my wife. I love my kids. You know one of them, DW. But not more than I love Yahuwah. Something, Yahuwah forbid, something should happen to them, or I will hate it. But hey, it ain't gonna make me say, well, why have you done this? And you ain't who you say you could have stopped. No. Mm-mm. He has the words to eternal life. He has the keys also. And I know how my family is living. I know how my wife, my children are living. So should something happen to them, Yahuwah forbid it now at this moment. I know where they are. I know where they are. But let your allegiance be to him first and foremost. I'm not saying don't care about your family, because somebody will take this word and twist it all up because of their little idiocracies and all that kind of stuff, But no, be first to him. And that's a good lesson. Don't go for nobody's wrong just because they're your sister, they're your brother, they're your mama. have a King Asa spirit when he was on. Yeah. He even dismissed his mama as being queen because she had idols and groves and stuff like that. He took it all down. Don't be like Eli. Don't be like Eli. Yahuwah told him, because you wouldn't you wouldn't discipline your boys, you let them just continue to do wrong because they was your seed. Said there will not be one male left in your family that will stand and piss against the wall. You know what he was doing then? What Yahuwah was doing? Because you took family side over my laws, my statutes, and my commandments. I'm gonna kill up every male, every seed you have, everything that is connected to you, because they are not fit to stand before me. That's some serious stuff. So you better think about that. And then I know some of you going, well, that boy trying to break up family. Take it any way you want to take it, because you know exactly what I'm saying. That's just that demon of offense just operating in you. That's all what that is. Stop it. Please stop that. Please stop that. And we better take this thing as it is. It has to be him and him alone. He's the only one that holds the keys to eternal life. He's the only one that has it. And that's who we need to be. That's where our allegiance need to be. This thing is getting serious now. It is getting serious. Okay? It's getting serious. Let him build your faith. Put your hope in him and let him continue to build that. There's a lot of things fixing to happen in this world. But guess what? It ain't the end yet. It's not the end yet. It's not the end yet. Still got a little ways to go on that. It's not the end yet. Okay? All right. Love you, people of y'all. Y'all have a great rest of the day. Not going to take no more of your time. Thank you. Bye-bye.